This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good. Okay, so today's topic is MRP evaluations. Okay, so this is a little bit theoretical topic, but it's important. So after running the MRP, before running the MRP, so how we can able to check the results of the MRP? That is before running the MRP and after running the MRP. So what kind of results we can check it, and what type of precautions can be taken care. So those things we'll discuss today. So first we go for an overview. Then we'll say about the stock requirement list and the MRP list. So this is very important one. Okay. Then we'll see the MRP elements. We'll see how to execute the collective access of MRP. So till now we saw MD04 screen by entering the single material. Now we'll see without entering a material, how can we see a multiple list of stock requirement list. Then we see about the periodic totals, order report. So periodic totals, that means if I want to see the stock requirement list in terms of weeks or months, or in terms of days, so we can use this periodic totals. And we see this pegged requirements. So what is the meaning? Pegged requirement means, suppose you are creating any planned order. So why that particular planned order is created? So what is the base? What is a dependent requirement, or what is why the MRP has created the planned order? Is there any requirement is there or not? So that is called pegged requirement. Okay. Now we see the exception messages. So when we run the MRP, so we'll be getting a few exception messages. Okay. So the message is something like delay in the scheduling, like delay in the start of productions, or earlier start of productions. Some kind of exception messages. So this exception message is a huge topic actually. So this, based on your experience, you can able to understand. Okay, so one in an overnight you cannot able to understand all the exception messages. So based on the scenarios, based on your project experience, you will be seeing these exception messages. Now, the last but not the least, we'll see the filter and the selection tools and the navigation profiles. So these are today's agenda. Okay, first we'll see what is the stock requirement list and the MRP list. So the stock requirement is a dynamic list. Okay, so it contains up-to-date information on the current status of the stocks, that is the requirements and the receipts. You are able to view any changes immediately. So why this is called dynamic list means, so we can able to see any kind of the stocks up to date. Till now, if there are any changes in the stocks or any changes in the plan and requirements, we can able to see the stock requirement list, which I'll show in the screen. And the MRP list is a static list. That means the results of the plan and changes that are made after the plan are not visible. That's the way when you run the MRP. So once you run the MRP, the changes. What happens? So recording is going on, right? This is recording. Okay. So we see about this, what is the stock requirement list and the MRP list. Okay. Stock requirement list and the MRP list. So the stock requirement list gives, after the MRP, if you do any changes also, the stock requirement, those changes can be visible in the stock requirement list. Whereas in the MRP list, so the changes are visible only after the MRP run. Let's say if I create any planned order after the MRP run, so that planned order can be visible in the stock requirements, but not in the MRP list. So when the plan order will be, when the plan dependent requirement will be available, only when you run the next MRP report. So then only you can able to see this MRP, the plan dependent requirement in the MRP list. So you see the system. MRPs are stored in the system until they are either deleted manually or replaced by new list from a subsequent planning. The basic structure of the both list is the same. So both the appearance, the look and appearance of these two are same. So this can be seen using the T code MD04 and this can be seen using the T code MD05. So but these two, the appearance and the look will be the same, will almost be the same. Okay, now we'll see in the system. We'll go and check in the system. Sorry, that's not coming. Correct? First, we are going to see the stock requirement list, and then also we'll see the MRP list. So, basically, the stock requirement list is having a header data, and also it contains of MRP elements. Okay, so what it means? What is this MRP elements means? Like planned orders, purchase requisitions, production orders, purchase orders. All these are stocks. All these are nothing but your MRP elements. Okay. So these MRP elements, when you run the MRP, these MRP elements will be considered and it can be seen in the MRP list also. So all the current stock will be visible in the stock requirement list. So you see the current stock, all the current stock can be seen in the stock requirement list. Okay, we'll see what is this. This is a basic of stock requirement. This is nothing but your MB04 scheme. Till now we have seen all the planned orders, all this in this particular screen only. So the first thing is it is having the header data. This is called header screen. This is called the header screen. And this is called the header screen. Okay. So if you click on this, if you want to expand these views, if you want to see these views, just click on this expand button, header view. So you can able to see that all the series. So where are all the series are coming? These pages are coming from the basic master data, and if you see here, these are all called MRP elements. Like so, in like independent requirements, planned orders, all these are our MRP elements. So normally, if you see here MRP elements, you will be getting a plus and the minus both. So you see the requirements. All the receipt elements are denoted by plus, and all the requirements are denoted by negative symbols. Okay, so requirements means our plan dependent requirements, sales order, all these are requirement elements. Whereas receipt elements means stock, planned orders, production orders, purchase orders, all these are receipt elements. Okay. Now let's see what the report report. Now we are discussing the stock requirement list. Okay. So So now this is the current scenario. See here, we have an independent requirement of 100, 200, and we have a stock. Okay. Now this is the receipt element. Stock is a receipt element. Now let us see the header data screen. So if you want to see the header data screen, just click on this expand button. You can see all the header data details which are available for this particular master data. And if you want to go back, just collapse this. You can minimize the data. Now coming back to MRP. So these are our MRP elements. You can see a description called MRP elements. Stock, independent requirements. These are MRP elements. Okay. Now what we do, we run the MRP. So we have a requirements elements like PAR. PAR is a requirement element. Stock is a receipt element. Now if we run the MRP, we will be getting some more receipt elements. And now I refresh the screen. So now we can see planned orders. So these are also my receipt elements. As a function consultant, you need to understand this screen thoroughly. Like when you're going to MD04 screen, so you can able to understand what is my MRP. By looking into the MRP element, you can able to understand, okay, these are my receipts, these are my requirement elements. Okay. Now these are okay. When you're running MRP, we got few more receipt elements. That is nothing but your plan orders. Okay. Now the second is how to check this MRP elements. Okay, like planned orders or sales orders. How can we check? Okay. So when you double click on this particular planned order, okay, you will be getting some kind of a pop here. See here. So by using these buttons, you can able to display your plan or MRP elements data. So if I want to go and display this, I want to see the data for this particular plan order. So click on the display, you can able to see all the relevant data for this product. Okay, so there is my plan order. You can see some header data screens like quantity, information related to dates, assignments. You can see some kind of assignments here, accounting assignments, which is related to finance part, master data like BOM, what is my BOM, and what are my components, BOM components for this particular material. So all these details can be seen using these kind of buttons. Okay. Now if you want to change, anything, if you want to change quantity, you can able to change here. You can able to change. Okay. Okay. Now if I want to convert the planned order to production order, you can convert. If I want to convert the planned order to process order, you can able to convert. Like purchase equipment, if it is a raw material, you can able to convert into purchase equations. So these are all our additional data payments. Additional data for the MR payments. So if I want to convert this plan order production, click on this. Of course, we are discussing more in details. But when you are discussing the next topic, that is a production order. Okay, like this. Let's create it. So like this, you can able to display. See, these are the buttons. These are few buttons which we commonly use in our daily business processes. Okay. Next, we'll see how to identify the MRP elements. So now in this screen, we are having multiple things like how to identify it. So this is called IND. So each MRP element is denoted by something code. Okay. Let me check. So when I'm going to every developer screen, by seeing this MRP element, so we need to recognize what it is. IND REQ is there. Okay. Plan independent requirements. That is now forecast data. Now PLD ORD will be there. This is called planned order. Now we'll be getting some ORD for sales order. Okay. So some kind of code will be there. PLORD. So PLORD. This is for plan order. Now if I create a sales order, you see, which is computer will be. The sale order will be available. Okay, 2482. Let us create for that. And 1000. Now order and completion of documents. Now if I say the sales order, so the sales order number will be available in the MD04, and the MRP element will be having some kind of a different code like ORD, customer order. Now we'll go back, check the order. So this is called sales order. Okay. So like this, you can able to identify your MRP element. So each MRP element will have a code to identify it. Like for a sales order, there is order. For planned order, PLORD. For plan spend requirement, INDREQ. So each MRP element will have a specific code to identify your requirements. Okay. Now we'll see about the MRP list. So MRP list is just is having several different components. Like you can able to see this header data. Similar, it is like quite similar to your stock requirement list. It's having a header data, overview tree, MRP elements, periodic totals. Of course, we'll see all these things. Okay, now we'll see about this. Now we have seen MD04. Now we'll go to MD05. So MD05 is nothing but our MRP list. Okay. Enter. You see that. You see on the top of the description, you see MRP list. In this particular screen, you will see the stock requirement list. So by seeing the description, you can able to differentiate the screens. Now, if I press, I am executing the MD05 screen. So the same thing I will plan. You enter the material and the plan like MD04. Just press enter. You will be able to see the now. I'm just comparing these two screens, stock requirement list and the MD04 screen. Now, if you see here, both looks like the same. We'll be having a header screen and we'll be having MRP elements screen, MRP elements data. Both looks like same. Here also, if you expand your header details, you can able to see the header details. Okay. Maybe few parameters might be different, but almost the look and feel will be the same actually. The screen appearance will be same almost. Okay. Of course, we'll check this periodic totals within a couple of minutes. See these things. Okay. Okay. Now, if you compare these two screens, you have the stock, right? You have this. So you have a stock, you have a plan orders, you have the bed requirement. What is missing here in MD05? Sales order, right? Sales order is missing. Why the sales order is missing? Because after creating a sales order, we have not run the MRP. So that's the reason. Stock requirement list is a dynamic list. Okay, it gives the present situation, current situation of the stock. Whereas MRP list will only give the results before the MRP or after the MRP. Sorry, after the MRP. So when the sale order will be visible in the MRP list, again if you run the MRP, you can able to see the sale order in the MRP list. And also you see here, when the last MRP was run, so on August 28th, so today's date, at which particular time, this is a German time, okay, that is around like 2 hours, you add 4.5 hours, that is around like 6 o'clock or 5:59 o'clock, so we have run the MRP for this particular material. Okay, so take the screenshot. So this is important, try to understand it. And in the support project, you will be getting the issues. I will let you know how to solve those issues. Okay, so this is the timing. You remember this date and time. Okay. So what we will do? We will run the MRP. MD02. I am running the MRP. So after running the MRP, now I am going to MD05 MRP list screen and I will refresh it. I will go back and re-execute the data. So now you can see the sale order number here, you see. And if you see at the top of the screen, date and time. Previously our time is 13:57, now the time is 14 o'clock. By this MRP list is useful to check when the last MRP run was happened for a particular product. So the last MRP run has happened on August 20, around 14-16 hours. Okay, now we can see the sale order here. Okay, that is the case. You see, normally what will happen here? Assume that we have the current situation. The support project. Some user came and by mistake, or he thought that okay, I don't want to do a production of plus 240. Okay, I am sufficient with whatever I am making right now. For us, what I will do, he will try and by mistakenly or wantedly, he has deleted this plan order. He has deleted this plan order. Okay. Now come back and he will come back and ask, or Sandeep, maybe he will ask Sandeep, sir, I am not, I don't have any planned order. So there is some inconsistency in the for this particular product. So how can I start my production? So I don't have any planned order or production order for this particular requirement. Now what you see as a function consultant, the first thing is you have to come back into MD05. First you come back. Okay, then execute. Here you can see this a planned order is there. Okay, so if you see here 39764 a planned order is there and 39765 a planned order is there for the requirement 200. So by looking into this picture, you can able to understand that you can able to justify that okay. So the MRP run was happened was so the planned order is already created. Somehow some person has deleted this planned order. Okay, so we will run the MRP again so that we will be getting a planned order one more time. Okay, so what we can do, we can go and run the MRP. Run the MRP again and come back and check in MD04 stock requirement list. So a planned order is created and the same planned order number again you can able to see in the stock requirement MRP list 39776. So like this you can able to justify your support project. Also if you see here the last MRP run was happened on this particular time. So you can able to see suppose if one more requirement was added. I'm just giving a few examples for what kind of issues we face. One more example, one more requirement is added. Okay. Again, the end user will come back and say that so the MRP run is not the MRP is not working properly because I did not see any planned orders or something for this particular requirement. So he will come and give a complaint to us. So again, what we need to do, the basic check is we have to go back to MD05 first and check when is our last MRP run happened, date and time, and see here. You see here this requirement 300 is not visible still in the MRP list. So we can tell that you please wait for your next MRP run, maybe today night. So you have to wait until today night. So in the next day morning, you can check your in the plan dependent requirement will be your planned order will be created. Or else if you want on an emergency basis, you have to run the MRP manually, which is not a sustainable way. Okay. So you can tell to your department saying that you please wait for the next MRP which has happened in the after the production hours. So tomorrow we can able to start your production. So in these kind of things you can able to rectify it using the MRP list. Okay. So normally the basic both looks are same. Okay. The look and feel for MD04 stock requirement list or MRPs will be the same. The only difference is MD04 will give the current situation. MD04 will always give the current situation, whereas the MRP list will be showing the results after the MRP run only. If any changes happen, the MD04 file will not reflect. Only MD04 screen only you can able to see. The stock requirement list screen only you can able to see if any changes are happened. So those changes will be captured in your stock MRP list when the next MRP run is happened. Okay, so that is the difference between the MRP and stock. It is an interview question. Okay, you have to tell this. Okay, anyway, we have seen this one example. See, these points you have to solve. So what is the use of MRP list? So MRP list always shows the result of the last MRP. So you can see always the last MRP, what is the date and the time. Okay, this you have seen. Suppose user is a planned out MD05 by mistake and complaint is there is inconsistency. First you need to check in the MRP list when is the last MRP was happened. So based on these results, your analysis, so you can justify your business. Okay. Now we'll see few functions. What are the like we'll see some we'll see what is the variable header. So we'll see what is the header data screen. So we have a master data, stocks, we have consumption values here. So what type of data is visible in the stock requirements in the header? If you go to the header, so we have like material data which is containing like MRP controller, procurement type, MRP group, strategy group, MRP, all these which are related to master data. And also you can see some lot sales data, stocks information, related to stock information. Okay. All this data can be visible. And we discuss about the spec requirements. We'll see. So MRP elements, we have seen this display change, how to convert the planned orders. Now we'll see this periodic totals also. Okay, some. Okay. Okay, now we'll see the collective access of MRP list. Okay. So till now we have seen a material. I will re-execute. We'll go to MD04 again. Now every time we are entering a material and the plant to see the details of particular material. Normally, what happens in the plant side? So they will give, they want to see the list of materials in a particular for a particular plant. So they want to see the list of materials for a particular plant. Okay. So normally if I am the MRP controller, so I will give the MRP controller. That's a 000. So I want to see all the materials responsible, which are responsible by me. So by using this collective action, so this is individual access. Individual means you can see the details of each and every product individually. Collective means you can able to see a multiple list of materials at a time. So this is the main useful in the plant side. So people will use more collective access. So the MRP controller. So each and MRP controller will come here. So he will give the MRP control number and execute this access. So there are totally 258 materials which are responsible by me. So yes. So daily I used to monitor these many products in the SAP. Okay. So by looking into this, all these are materials, all these are my materials which are responsible by me. That means I'm going to take care of this planning, like conversion of planned order to production orders, Okay, the dates, everything. So I can come back and see the list of all the products available for this particular response for this particular MRP controller. Okay. Now here from this screen, if I want to see, so I'm just selecting randomly like 4 materials. I want to see the stock requirement list data. So just click on the stock requirement list. The first material you can see there. Now this will be act like an individual screen, individual access. So you can able to see the stock requirements for the first material. If I want to see the second material, just click on next material. Just click on next material. Okay, next material. Okay, like this, you can able to see the data for each and every product. So this is more useful rather than your individual access. Okay, business will more use widely use this collective access option. Yes, fine. Now let's go to other screen. Now we'll discuss the periodic totals. So what is meant by these periodic totals? So MRP elements are grouped by periods for the periodic totals display. You can able to view the in a daily, weekly or monthly display. So using these periodic totals, we can able to see the list as per your daily, weekly or monthly. Okay, we'll see in the system actually, then we can able to understand. Now let us do some exercise here. Okay, before that, see here. The business, so he is entering a particular plan independent requirement data on a weekly basis. Okay, so like weekly is entering some forecast data. After entering it, you can see a list. The list is huge actually. Okay, you can see the list. This particular list is very huge. MRP once happened, you can see so many planned orders has been created for each and every forecast data. So these are like weekly wise. Now the business want to see in a monthly. So in a month, what is my total requirement and what is my total receipts. Instead of checking all the weekly basis, I want to take the summation of this monthly. So in a November or in a previous month, October. So what are my receipt elements? What are my requirement elements? So with the help of periodic totals, we can able to view that report actually. So this is the periodic total button. Okay, when you click on this, you'll be getting the screen. Okay, so business can see in the monthly format or the weekly format. So here you can have an options like daily, weekly, monthly, or as per your planning calendar like this. So when you click on this monthly, you can able to see in the month of per month, like August, September, October, November. So these are my requirement elements. So you can see the requirements, and these are my receipt elements. So they can take their own format. This is the use of periodic total. Now the same we'll see in the screen. Now let us go to MD04. 2482. Let me clean these things. Let us. The MRP. Go to MD04. Okay, fine. Now we'll enter some plan dependent requirement data. I will take it in a weekly buckets. So I'll enter in the weekly buckets like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. Okay, 140, 150, 160, 170. Okay, so these are my forecast data actually. I don't MD04. You see, there are so many requirements are there. So this is my huge list. I can see the huge list. When I run the MRP, again the list will be increased actually. Now we'll run the MRP. So when I refresh the screen, so you'll be getting all the plan orders. Okay. Now the list is huge in the MD04 screen. You need to scroll down and check all these particular things. So the business won't like this to see or to do a manual work here. Okay, in the November month, I have to check all my requirement elements and I have to check all the displacements. So now click on this periodic totals, these two periodic totals. Go to month, and here you can see this is for in a particular August month. My requirement is 10, but I have not done any production because my stock is there. I will use stock only. Okay, in the November month, see my requirement is around 140. So my production is 120. Why? Because it's already a stock of 20. So by looking into this picture, they can easily able to understand or visualize the planning actually. Okay, so this is more useful. Actually, if you go back to the previous screen, just switch to individual lines. Click on this. Again, you will be coming back to your previous screens. This is about your periodic tables. This is about your periodic tables. The MRP are good for a periodic order. So this type of display provides you with a fast overview of the development of the material availability for over a particular period of time. So this will save your time to check the availability of the materials and the stock of the materials. When there are several procurement proposals for a material in the same grade, this is cumulative quantity. Okay, so you see here there are several procurements are the procurement proposals. That means we have several plan orders. If you want to accumulate these things in a monthly format, we can use this periodic total button. Now we will be able to understand this thing. The system displays the following concept: plan dependent requirements. So what is my requirement, total requirement? What is my total requirement? What is my available quantity? All these things. So you go back to periodic totals. You see here. Plan dependent requirements. Plan dependent requirements. You see here two are there. Plan requirement is our forecast, whereas requirement is another useful sales order. We have created a sales order. So that sales order is so receipt, total available quantity. Okay. So by using these tabs, you can be able to understand. You see the sale order. This is about modes for periodic totals. Okay. Now we see the order report. What is this order report? So order report will display individual component requirements for the selected order or for several levels. Suppose if you are having a bomb, I have a finished product. Under this finished product, I have a semi-finished product. Under this help, I have a raw material. So there is a forecast of 100 pieces for this finished product. So I want to see, to prepare 100 pieces, what is situation of HALB and what is situation of raw material. Okay, so normally if you want to see what will you will go to MD04. You will execute the you will execute the results using FERT material. Again, you will open one more screen and you will see the results for the HALB. Again, you open one more screen and you will see the results for raw material. So you have to open totally 3 screens in this case. If you assume the BOM is huge, it is having like multiple levels. How many screens you need to open and see, check each and everything. So that is hectic. So there is something called order report. So SAP has suggested the order report, to use order report to see all the results for a particular MRP element by using the order report. Okay, how you will use it? So by selecting the planned order in the MRP element and click on order tree, so that the multiple level of order will be displayed. You see this in the screen. Okay, we go to the screens. Now this is our BOM. You see this is a BOM. This is a finished product, and these are all my components. Okay, so this finished product is having a stock requirement. It's like they have the forecast requirement elements and they have the receipt elements. Now if you select any receipt elements. If you select any planned order and just click on the show overview tree. Okay, and just click on the show overview tree. You'll be getting your order report. Just click on the show overview tree. Select a planned order. Click on the show overview tree, and you will see for this particular planned order. So the BOM will export actually. So this is header material and these are BOM materials. Okay, so you can able to see when you double click on this particular component material, you can able to see the stock requirement list also. Okay, we'll see the screen. So this is the main agenda. Let us run stop owning the huge data. Let us take only few data. Okay, let remediate all these things. How does it work? Pretty here only. We want to save data first. No. Okay. We run the MRP. We run the MRP one more time using MD. Okay. So I want to see the order report for this particular plan. I am selecting a randomly. So I am using 39779. Okay, and just click on this plan order. Select the plan and click on show overview. Okay, so now you see what happened. 248. Order report. Okay, I'll come back again. MK04 screen. Just enter the header material, plant. Okay, just click on show overview tree first. Now you select any planned order. Just place your cursor on the particular planned order and just select order report. So when you select this order report, it will show you all the BOM components. You see here. These are all my BOM components. If you want, let us. See here 2489. 2489 is having these two. Okay, 12 and 13 as a components. Alright, so 2489, that is semi-finished, but bulk solution is having these two components, bulk solution. And to prepare a Pepsi 500 ml bottle, we have a bulk solution, we have an empty bottle, we have a bottle cap. Right, all this will be triggered here. Now, if you want to see any stock requirement list of any particular material, just double click on this. You can able to see the stock requirement list of this particular material. Okay, so the red shows that there is a deficiency actually. That means there is some, the available quantity is negative actually. That means still you need to produce or still you need to have some procurement proposals for this particular material. The green denotes that we have a sufficient stock. See here, the available quantity is 0. So whenever your available quantity is 0, it will show you a green. If you go to 13, so 13 is having a sufficient stock. That means these materials are ready to prepare this particular finished product. These materials are ready actually. Whereas if you go back to this empty borders, so empty borders also we are having some deficiency. We are having some deficiency again. So like this, you can able to visualize, you can able to understand your or MRP admin data. Okay, so people use this order report. They will not go and execute each and every MD04 screen for each and every material. Okay. So by using this order report, you can able to analyze your stocks and everything. Okay, if you want to select this panel, now let us randomly pick this panel 39781. So if you want to prepare this for 70 quantity, whether I will check whether having sufficient stock are there or not. Okay, can click on this. Okay, this is one kind of option. If you want to see other option, just double click on the MRP element and planned order. Here also you can able to see the order report. Just click on order report. So you can see the order report for planned order 39781. So this is the situation of the planned order. Okay. So this is about your order report. Okay. Basically, to check the report for any MRP element like planned order or sales order, if you want to check the report from the top level to bottom level, from the finished product, assemblies, and finally the components. Okay. So this is a planned order. You have planned like 100 pieces or 100 boxes for your finished product. So that 100, the defined requirement will be flow to the next level, that is assemblies level. So you can check whether you have sufficient receipt payments like planned orders or production order is there or not. Okay, and again this defined requirement. So first thing is this defined requirement will flow to the next level assembly level, and this defined requirement will flow to the next level, that is a component level. Again you have to check whether there is sufficient purchase orders or there are not receipt payments. Okay, suppose if there is a problem here, see there are no reservations. Okay, again you have to come back and run the MRP. Again we will be finding a suitable requirement. So basically the use of order report is to evaluate your MRP data from top level to bottom level. That is the main use. Now we'll see the pegged requirements. What is meaning of this pegged requirements? I'll come back here. Good. We're executing MD04 scan again with plant and material. Now I got this plan order. You see here, I have a plan order created. System has entered this plan order. Why this plan order has been created? Okay, we'll see. Double click on this plan order, and you will see a button here called pegged requirement. Just click on this. Maybe from the 1, 2, 3, 4th button. Just click on this pegged requirement. So system will tell you why this plan order has been created. Because this plan order has been created because of this requirement. Because there is a forecast on November 11, 2019 for 30. So that's the reason system has created this plan order. You can go back and check. See, this is the date 11/11/2019. I have some forecast. I have some plan dependent requirement of 30. So that's the reason system has created this plan order. Now you see any plan order. For example, this plan order I am seeing display. Sorry. Order report, pegged requirement. Now you see this pegged requirement. So there is a requirement on December 9, 2019 of 70 quantity. Okay, so you see this is a plan order number 39781. So if you go back and see this 39781, there is a requirement for December. So based on this, the plan order has been created. So basically the pegged requirement tells you that why the receipt elements has been created, for what purpose has been created. If you go and check any component 2489, now you see here for semi-finished product, like you see a lot of this here. So we are by seeing only we can able to there's a lot of confusion will be there for the business. So what they will do, you go to the plan order and click on this pegged requirement. Okay, now you see this plan order has been created as a collective plan order has been created. Single plan order has been created for all these requirements. Okay, on November 11th, 18, 25. Considering all this, my plan order has been created. Okay, so these are our receipt. You can do some summation also here. Total 120. Okay. Okay. So you can basically see your pegged requirements here. This is called pegged requirements 100 because of these requirements. These are the requirements. Okay. Like this, you can able to. This is about your pegged requirement. So normally, if you create any planned orders or a purchase requirements, so this planned orders has been created for which requirement? So in this picture, you are seeing this planned order has been created. You see this totally 3 planned orders has been created here because of the sales order, because of your requirement elements like planned dependent requirements and the sales orders. Because of the planned orders has been created. So this is about the finished product level. And again, if you go to the assembly level, that is a level 2. This is a level 1 and these are level 2. Okay, so if you go here, what happens whenever you create any planned order for the finished product, so that will be carried as a dependent requirement here, right? Because of this dependent requirement, again you are creating some purchase orders or production orders. This is about your pegged requirement. Okay, basically you can see why these receipt elements has been created. Why these receipt elements has been created because of dependent requirements or because of any planned dependent requirements or sales orders. That is called as pegged requirements. Okay, fine. Let me know if you're having any doubts. Fine. Now we'll see some more things. Exception messages. Okay, let us see the exception messages. Okay, let us try to understand what is the exception messages. So exception messages used to identify any issues within the production plan. So any issues in the production plan, delay in the production plan, or if you want to postpone your production plan. Based on these exception messages, you can able to understand. Okay. As a result of planning on simple changes to supply and demand, the plan results are modeled using these exception messages. Using these exception messages, you can able to plan your productions. Actually, so these are basically it's nothing but your alerts. So it will give you an alert, like based on these exception messages, you can take some precautions actually. Okay, so those things are useful for exception messages. We'll see the exception message here. Let me clear one of these things again. Slightly wait a bit. The user, right? It will be confusing for us. Just read all those things. Okay, now see we have a stock, okay, and we have a sales order. So we have already a stock in the warehouse like 30 pieces. Now the customer order has been came to deliver for 10 pieces. We can able to deliver this customer order, right? In a normal case. So we don't need to create any extra production or need to, we don't require any production order for this, right? As per the situation. Now what I will do, I will create a production order in Angular. CO01. I'm trying to create a production manually for this particular material. Don't worry about the screen. This production order we will be discussing soon. Let us get about 50 pieces. And Let us create this one. You can delete it or not. Let us try. Mm-hmm. 2482. Okay, now, now saved. So once you then save this production order and come back into MD04 screen, refresh it. So you can see the production order. Along with production order, you can see some exception message here. See here, this is the exception message. What is the number here? 40. So what is the meaning of this exception message? So press F4 here and check the meaning of exception message 20. So it's telling to cancel the process. Why it is trying to cancel the process? Since there is no requirement, since there is no necessity to generate this production order. Okay, because we have a sufficient stock and we can able to deliver the product to the customer from the warehouse with the available stock. So system is telling not to create this production order, please cancel it. So we can come back and cancel this production order. Okay, so the business will come here and they will cancel it. So this is the use of exception messages. Okay, so exception messages. So the MRP control can then select those materials from the plan list to process it. So the stock requirement list will show the exception message in a real-time environment. Okay, so in the MD04 screen you can see the exception messages. Exception messages are basically use the alert. So based on this alert, business can act upon whether to delete the production order, whether we need to change any dates or not. So it's something like that. Okay, suppose let us create one more. Let us see one more exception message. What I will do, I will maintain some plan dependent requirement data. Like I will maintain some forecast data. I will maintain some 100. Let's say 100 I will maintain. Now refresh the screen. Now we have independent mapping. Okay. Under mapping. Okay, MRP ran successfully. You refresh the screen. You'll be getting plan order. No exception message. Okay, let me put this in here. Now we see here, you got an exception message here. What is exception message 30? So what is the meaning of 30? It's something related to production, scheduling part actually. Plan process according to the schedule. So it is saying that you need to plan this plan order according to your schedule. Why? Because so first you need to understand why this plan order has been created. So double click on this. Go to your packet requirement. Okay. So this packet requirement is that because of this particular these two. Okay. One is your what is it? So we have two requirements. So August 1 and August 26. So because of these two, the plan order has been created first. Come back and check what is the dates. So for the August 1st, we have some plan requirement forecast data, and for 26, we have some customer order. On month of August, you are having these two requirements, but you are trying to produce the production on October month. So you need to plan according to the schedule, right? So it is also telling that rescheduling date also, as you can see here. So this planned order has to move backward on this particular date, not on the month of October. You need to plan this production. You need to start this production on the month of August because you are having requirements in the August month. Okay, this is about your exceptional sales. Okay, so basically there are so many will be there. Okay, basically there are so many will be there, but okay. You cannot understand, you can't do it overnight. Okay, based on your project experience, you can be able to understand slowly the exception messages. Okay, now we'll see the filter and the selection rules. Okay, what is meant by these filters and selection rules? So basically, these filters and selection rules will help you to filter your MRP elements. So filters, we have some, and selection rules. So display filter is used in the stock requirement list. So this function is used to display your MRP elements. Okay, you need to see what are my MRP elements. Selection rule also gives the MRP elements, but the only difference is filter will not give the total quantity of available quantity, not give the total sum of available quantity. Whereas selection rule will give you the total sum of available quantity. We'll see in the system. Okay, now this is the main thing here. You see. So this is the display filter. There are two buttons, display filter and selection rule in the MD04 screen. When you go and check in the stock requirement list, you can able to find this selection rule and display filter. Okay. What is the use of the selection rule and display filter? Means you can select your all receipt elements. For example, these are my receipt elements. I want to see only my receipt elements. Based on the selection rule, you can able to see your receipt elements. For example, your receipt element is 100. The PAR in the month of August, the PAR in the month of October is 150 pieces. So totally 250 pieces has to be there, right? You can able to see this kind of calculation. So if you want to see all the receipt elements, all your requirement elements, okay, you use the selection rule and select the requirement elements. And also it gives the available quantity, total sum of the quantity sum also it will give. Okay, for example, you want to see only the receipt elements, green. You can able to see your receipt elements also. Similarly, display filter also, you can see your requirements, total requirements and total receipt elements. Okay, the only thing is here it will not give the available quantity. The available quantity will not show here. Total sum will not show here. And the difference between these two is the first point is to tell that selection rule, the use of the selection rule, we can able to see the available quantity. Whereas in the display filter, we cannot able to see the available quantity, sum of available quantity. And the selection rule can be seen in the stock requirement list. Whereas a display filter can be seen both in the MRP list and the stock requirement list. The selection rule is not visible in the MRP list. Okay, we'll see in the this thing. Again, we need data, right? So this is a filter button you see here. When you click on this filter button, you will be getting a display filter and selection rule. This is the MD04 screen. Whereas if you go to this, if you go to the MD05 screen, so what happens here? So the same filter button will be available here, but you can only see the display filter button, not the selection rule here. That is the only difference here. Okay. Now let us display filter selection rule. Display filter. I want to see only my requirements and the stock. Select here. You can able to see your requirements. This is a stock, and you have a requirement. This is a plan dependent requirement and customer requirements. Okay. Now in this here you cannot see the total quantity here, right? No, we'll discuss that in a couple of minutes. Now, if you want to see only your received elements, that is the planned orders. You can see the planned orders. Here the list is field. If you enter it some more, then you can able to see the importance of this. Let me put it in a. No, we'll take monthly. Let us don't write much data. I will add it some more here. I will add it. Let's say. Okay. Now again I will come back. We'll go back. We will re-execute in MD04 screen. Material plan, enter the material plan. Now you see so many are there. Now you can able to see. Now I will click on filter. Okay, I will see all my requirements in the stock. So now you can see all your requirements, including the stock. And here you cannot see any total quantity here. The total quantity will not be there either. Okay. Now if I want to see only my receipt elements like planned orders, production orders, purchase requisitions, purchase orders, all these are my receipt elements. Okay. Now if I use a selection rule, the requirements in the stock. So these are my requirements and these are my stock, and you see this available quantity here. So minus 3, that is the summation of all these things. So 30, all negative quantities and excluding the stock, you will be getting a 350 here. So that means there is a deficient of 350. So for this particular requirement, I have a plan for each and every one in this particular year. So minus 350 is my deficient quantity. Now let us see whether this fulfills our receipt elements or not. Now we go only for receipt elements. If you see here 380, so we have a sufficient. Okay. So we can start production. There is no deficiency here. So we have more receipt elements compared to our requirement elements. So this is about the selection rule. So the use of the selection rules. Total available quantity is visible in the selection rule, whereas in display filter you cannot see this option. You cannot see this feature actually. So that is the only difference here. Okay, this is about the display filter and selection rule. Okay, come back here. So you see selection rule and the display filter. Okay, now the last one we'll discuss about the navigation profile. Okay, so navigation profile is also a very important thing. Let's see this navigation profile. Let us see in the SAP screen. Slash and MD04. Okay, enter the material plan. So go to this environment. Here you can see a navigation profile. Okay, and assign. So before assign navigation profile, you see in this bottom top of the screen there is no buttons, right? All these are empty. Now once I assign this navigation profile, take your photo. So these navigation profiles has been created in the configuration. Once you create in the configuration and come back here, so you can able to view the navigation profile. Or just take any navigation profile. You can just take MRP controller. So when I assign the navigation profile, you see these buttons here. Okay, like if I click on this single item multi-level, what will happen? It is directly taking to the MD02 screen. Okay, from here itself you can execute these transactions. Okay, this is about your navigation profile. It's basically saves your time actually. Instead of moving to the other screen and re-executing the T code, you can able to directly click on this particular button. So that button will be taking over to your particular transaction. Now it is interactive planning MD42. Like this you can see. If you want to create, if you want to see the planning for entry, click on this. It will directly take over to MD21 screen. It is giving the look and influence of your MD21. This is about your navigation profile. So where we are seeing this navigation profile in the configuration. Now let us understand the configuration. Come back to production, MRP. Master data. Evaluations. Under evaluations, you see this navigation profile. Define navigation profiles. Here we have to define the navigation profiles. So these navigation profiles, if you see in your project, these are all customization navigation profiles. So you can create your own G customization navigation profile, let's say this one, and you can be able to create your own, and you can assign your transaction calls and everything here. Now this is our navigation profile. Okay. So how many transaction calls you need to call it? So these are, you can create n number of transactions. You can assign n number of transactions here. But when you assign the navigation profile, system will prefer only the first 5. These 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, first 5. If you see here, now let me go back to MBA24 screen. If you see here, create planned order, single item multi-level, interactive planning, planning per entry. Okay, it will only call the first 5. Even though if you assign n number of transaction codes, system will only call the first 5, whatever we assign in this particular navigation. This is about one kind of thing. Now let us go to transaction calls per MRP element. Per MRP element. If you see here, let us go to the MRP element plan order. In this particular plan also, you can see the products like production order, all these process orders, applications. So these buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it will see here. So now we are take this. What is meant by this? FE is nothing but production. So now let's take this. What is so it will be to production order. Where is it? Okay. Okay. Basically, it calls multiple transactions to save your time. What is the use is? Normally, save the business time. This we are seeing. This we are seeing. Okay. So we don't have an MRP element of planned order here. Let me see. Do we have a planned order? Do we have PA here? No. Okay, what we will do? We'll try to convert one planned order to production order. Do we have any production here? No. We'll return this command. I have to change this. Let me see it. I'm taking the MRP element of the production order. So when I double click on this, you can able to see here order progress and backflash buttons. So where these buttons are coming because of this navigation profile. I have taken the MRP element which is related to production order. FE is nothing but your production order. FE is a production order. So when you go to the production order MRP element, you can see these three buttons: order refresh, backfresh, and force issue also. But the system will prefer the first two here. Okay. Now let us go back to the navigation profile. Let us understand. Say navigation profile contains a transaction cost for a transaction that can be called directly from the stock requirement list, right? So that is the meaning of this one. So it is having a transaction cost. So these are a transaction which can be called directly from the MD04 screen. So these transaction costs are updating. I mean these are getting updated from the using the navigation profile configurations. Okay. The first thing, the transactions are either general, which means at the material level, or they can refer a particular MRP element also. Okay, so these transaction costs, either you can call at a particular header level, or you can also do the transaction costs in the MRP element also. This is nothing but your backfresh. We'll see here. That is Migo CO46T codes also. Okay. So the transaction cost can be called for a material level or for a MRP element level also. So that is the meaning of this. A navigation profile determines any number of transaction costs. However, the display list is limited for 5 general transaction costs. So you can define n number of transaction costs in the SPRO. These are the general transaction costs, but it only call the first 5. In the MD04 it only call the first 5. Whereas for MRP element, it will call only 2 transaction costs. Same thing. In the SPRO, for the MRP element, we can define n number of things, but it will only call first 2. Okay, that means the production order. If you go see the production order, it will call only the first 2. Okay, so this is the meaning of navigation profile. So this is the meaning of navigation. See, navigation profile you can set with your own user profiles also. For my user, I can set my own navigation profile as a default thing. So when you assign here, go back, navigation profile, assign. So here you can see a save option. When I save it, so you see the settings for my ID. This navigation profile has been saved for my ID. So whenever I come back, whenever I re-execute, MD04, so no need to assign the navigation profile, whatever the meter it may be. So the navigation profile is assigned to my ID default. See, okay, I am taking a different meter, but although the navigation profile is there. So this can be a user specific navigation profile. The settings can be done based on user specific navigation profile. Okay. Now the last one, which is very important to understand, is which we are talking about in multiple times as a available quantity. See, whenever you in your project, first thing you have to check and you have to select. You need to check in MD04 screen is your available quantity, whether it is 0 or more than 0. If it is 0 means you have a sufficient receipt elements. If it is more than 0 also, you have a sufficient. That means you have more than what your requirement. Right? If it is a negative, then only there is an issue with MRP run. So you need to run the MRP run to fulfill this negative quantity. Suppose you see here in this particular example, we have a stock of 500. 500 stock is there, and we have a production order, and we have a sales order, we have a planned order, and we have an independent requirement. So total our requirement is 1000 plus 0 or 100, 1100. So if you okay. So if you see here, the stock is 500, right? Now just calculate your receipt elements. That is the stock, planned orders, and production order. This 500 plus 400, 900 plus 100, 1000. And now calculate only your requirement element 1000. Since this is a stock flying stock strategy 10, so that's what we consider the orders. Okay, so this is the main thing which you have to check. Now you see here, I'm just executing MD04 screen. Now if you come back here, now I will check what is my last status. This is 0. Okay, now it's fine. If it is a 0, I am having, that is the balance is 0, so I have planned it properly. That means I have balanced my receipt reference. Suppose if it is a negative, then it will be the MRP again, and you have to fulfill your receipt elements. That's in this year you see here, it is a negative year, minus 400. Still you need to plan some receipt elements. Okay. So the basic thing is the available quantity formula is the sum of total receipts and the total requirement elements. But the total receipts is nothing but your planned order, stocks, and everything. Okay, total requirement is your planned dependent requirement sales order. So in this example, if you take here, stock is 500, production order is 100, total 600 is I am having a warehouse. I mean, these are my receipt elements. 600 is my receipt elements. And what are my requirement elements? 1000 is my requirement element. Okay, just exclude the sale order here because 10. Just recollect our classes. Strategy 10 will not consider the sales order. Okay, this is one of the best example. So now the total receipts and total requirements. Still it is having minus 400. So here I give an example like how the total receipt has been calculated. It's considering the stock and the production order. Total requirement is planned dependent requirement. Sales are not considered because of strategy 10. So again you run the MRP and make this balance as a 0. Okay. So this is how all this we have seen now till now. But only thing is I'm just giving the very important thing which you have to check when you as a functional constant. Whenever you execute the MD0 you always have to check the balance, whether it is a 0, whether it's having more than 0 or not. If it is having a negative quantity, then you have to take care of your actions. You have to take care of preventive actions, like you need to run the MRP. MRP run is having a problem. You have to create your production orders manually. You have to balance the situation. Otherwise, you'll be in the trouble. The production will be in the trouble. Okay, these are some kind of a support project. When you go to support project, you'll be facing this kind of issues. Okay, fine. Any doubts? Okay, tomorrow we'll start a new topic, production orders. Okay. Let me stop recording.